Hello, in this video I'm going to do an overview of the Kodak Instamatic 500. This is top of the line of the Kodak Instamatic series. If you're familiar with this series, it's mostly an almost fully plastic camera body offering absolutely nothing to be desired. They come with plastic single element lenses. They offer no focusing capability, no aperture control, usually single shutter speed, nothing to be set on it except for the film's ISO. This camera, however, the 500, is the Mercedes of the Kodak Instamatic series, or the Rolls-Royce, depending on where you come from. It takes the same film, 126 film cartridges, which is the predecessor of the 110, of the much smaller 110 format, and it shoots square, approximately 26 by 26, actually a little bit bigger, square formats. What's desired about this particular model is the lens on it, but I will show you how. I will show you everything on it, and later on also how to use it and how to use it with 35 millimeter film. I generally found a huge lack of information online. Not information, but there's no comprehensive video review of it. So this is definitely going to be useful for many people. The first thing you would notice about this camera is the lens. Here's what the camera looks like. It has a full metal body with a nice chrome finish. The lens is retractable for storage. In its retracted position, the shutter release is actually locked, so even if your camera is cocked, it's not going to fire. So to turn the camera on, you have a button at the bottom here, and pressing this button pops up the lens mechanism, and the camera is ready to go. Okay, the lens is focusable. The closest focusing distance is just a bit less than 2.5 feet. Which is pretty close for that kind of for that era. So we're talking about 60-70 centimeters or something. On the top you have a focusing marker, a small triangle here, so you can set the focusing distance by feet. On the bottom you have another marker to set it by for use with zone focusing. So if you only want like 3 zones, you can set a narrow aperture and just use these clickable zones to take all of your photos. The shutter, the lens is housed in a very nice Compor shutter. Oh, sorry, it's the other way around. Compor shutter offering speeds from the maximum, the fastest 500th of a second, down to 1/30th of a second. It doesn't have any slower speed. It doesn't have half a second, full second, or 2 seconds. But it has bulb mode. Now, bulb mode can be combined with a remote cable release, which can be used thanks to the threaded shutter, or it can actually use the thread to ornament your camera with a soft release. I'm using this silver button, which makes the things look so perfect and feel so nice in the hand. The aperture, I'm going to show you the aperture by setting the shutter on bulb. The aperture is a 5-blade thing, and it goes from 2.8 down to f22. The Compor shutter offers PC sync for synchronization with flash, with any flash, and it also uses a modern. It's actually probably the only one in the entire Instamatic series that uses a modern hot shoe for flash guns. Not even the Instamatic SLR uses this. The camera has a selenium cell Gosson light meter. The light meter is coupled with both the shutter and the aperture, and also, I'm sure, with the film ISO. So depending on the settings you have, you would see in the viewfinder a needle telling you whether you have a proper exposure, like +1, -1, or way off. So you can set your aperture, usually the aperture, you can set it accordingly. Here's the viewfinder from the back. It's an optical glass finder with bright line frames and parallax correction. The body is full metal, has a nice finish to it. It comes with a very nice metal strap and a shiny chrome rubber hooded front filter. Here's a comparison, a small comparison between the Kodak Instamatic 500 and the Kodak Instamatic 100. You can see the entire series is generally much chunkier. This has been slimmed down thanks to the retractable lens, and it's also a bit longer thanks to the light meter, the presence of a light meter. This series offers absolutely no control whatsoever, not even the lens can be focusable. This is what the camera looks like next to a Canon S100. And this is what it looks like next to a Canon 400D. Now you will notice that it's exactly the same width as a small-sized SLR body. And it weighs the same. These two are surprisingly the same weight. So you can tell this is pretty big in the hand, and it actually feels like it's quite substantial. I'm looking forward to taking pictures with this. I'm going to I'm going to make another video showing loading the film in this camera, and also some tips and tricks if you want to use 35 reloaded film with this camera. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.